Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to NFL Talk with Brian and Moby. How are you doing, Brian?
I'm doing well, other
Good.
than the butt whooping your Steelers put on us last week.
And in honor of my Steelers, I'm wearing black and gold today. And just to a great performance by Big Ben. And how's everybody watching games? I hope they had a safe and nice weekend. So, how was your think about NFL last week? Do you think teams are getting worse?
Well, my Browns are up and down.
Yeah.
They seem, if they can't run, which they could not run the ball last week, they struggle. Just looking at some of the games last week, Denver beating New England was a shock to me.
Yeah.
I did not anticipate New England losing to Denver. How about you? Any game stand out?
Yeah, I think I had the Tampa Bay and Green Bay.
Yeah.
I thought.
I thought Green Bay too.
Yeah, I thought Green Bay, and I called few of my Packers fan, and they were really upset, and they said, "Oh, how about your Vikings? How did they do?" So I
Yeah.
said, "Well, they didn't do well."
No, they didn't.
So I said, "Yeah, I have two teams, favorite Steelers and Vikings, and one of them usually does good."
Yeah, Atlanta getting their first win.
Tough.
I was shocked that they beat Minnesota like they did. Matt Ryan, performed really well last week, and their interim coach, Raheem Morris, coaching them to their first win. So I was shocked. I thought Minnesota, Kirk Cousins has been playing fairly well, but for some reason they have been struggling.
So you think let's wrap up to the games and see
Okay.
what was there. Okay. So let's start with which one was your first one?
Denver and New England was a game that again we talked briefly about, but Denver beating New England 18-12. I was shocked how Cam Newton, I think he got sacked quite a few times and they couldn't move the ball. I was kind of shocked about that win right there with Denver getting that victory.
So I think it makes me wonder. You think New England problem is players, or is it? I know coach is saying.
Well, I mean Belichick, being there for 20-some years, I don't really think it's a coaching issue. I think Cam Newton basically didn't play at all last year. He's getting back into the swing of things. New team, a lot of new faces. He's trying to get used to. New coordinator. So I think it's more of them trying to get together as a team rather than a coaching or a player deal.
Yeah, and we had Houston, Tennessee. And
Really good game.
Really good game.
Yeah, that was one that I was kind of watching come down to the end. Houston took the lead, and then Tennessee gets the ball and drives down, and they send it to overtime, and then they get the win in overtime.
Yeah.
Derrick Henry crushed it last week, so he's a tough one.
Yeah, I was just I think I had also picked as Houston and I lost. So.
Yeah, I picked Tennessee on that one.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah, I got lucky, but I picked New England to win, and they lost. So, and then the game that I kind of watched, and I didn't watch it long because they were getting crushed from the word go, was my Browns against your Steelers. That was not even close. I think it was like 38-7. Baker Mayfield got benched, I think, in the third quarter. They brought in Case Keenum, and didn't matter. We couldn't run the ball, so Pittsburgh looking pretty tough there. A big game coming up we'll talk about shortly, Pittsburgh and Tennessee.
Yeah, that's going to be but if Tennessee, that you're right, that's going to be a big game. If you remember, we went to Steelers and Browns game, and that was the same.
Several years ago. Johnny Manziel, I think it was his rookie year. So
we both actually went and watched the game, and I remember that game. Browns were
came out in overtime.
Came out, and then they I think they lost probably, but
by a field goal.
By field goal.
Yep.
And that was so close. And I remember we both leaving stadium, and you said, "Oh, let me check them." I said, wow.
Yeah, we still lost though. Made
Yeah.
it close, but
But it was a good game.
yes. And then a game that we talked a little bit last week, I thought could be a potential upset was Baltimore against Philly, and it was really close. Philly made a comeback. They lose 30-28, but it was a really good game.
Yeah, I had Philly, and I don't know. I like we were saying, two birds. I think the Ravens ate Eagles.
Yeah.
That's what
Yeah,
happened.
Baltimore got the win. I picked them, but it was a really close game. And then all our local Washington fans, I thought they might pull that game out last week, but they lose a real close game, 20-19. Washington had a
hard
chance in the end, but couldn't convert. So
And then Minnesota, Atlanta. That was
shocked there.
Shocked there.
40-23, Atlanta putting a really whooping on the Vikings. I didn't see that coming.
I thought Atlanta was done for the season.
I did too.
guess, so.
Again, the interim coach, I think it was not last week, but 2 weeks ago when Romeo Cornell came in for Houston, they get their first win. And now Raheem Morris coming in for Atlanta gets his first victory. So
Wow, great. What about Jacksonville, Detroit?
I picked Detroit, and they get the win. I think it was 34-16. I really didn't pay a whole lot of attention to that game. I'm not a fan of either one of them, but
Yeah.
I picked Detroit. And they
Yeah,
won.
same. I picked Detroit and was fine. And Indy versus
Indy Cincinnati. Cincinnati jumps out. I think it was like 21-0, and they end up getting beat 31-27.
Wow.
Indy comes back and gets the win, and I picked Indy.
the same here. Carolina, Chicago.
So that game I picked Chicago, and it was a pretty close game. Chicago gets the win 23-16, but I believe Carolina had a chance
To
to come and get a tie or to win the game, but they couldn't convert in the fourth quarter there.
what about Miami?
I picked Miami. It wasn't a close game. It was 24-0 Miami, but I think the shocker here is Miami is benching Fitzpatrick, and they're going to start Tua Tagovailoa, their rookie quarterback from Alabama. I didn't really see a reason for this move other than them wanting to get some playing time for the rookie quarterback, but that's one of the topics for this week.
Oh, yeah, we're going to talk about that. And Green Bay, that's a heartbreaker because I thought Aaron Rodgers is going to pull that, but it's sad.
Yeah, we briefly mentioned last week that Tom Brady probably doesn't lose two in a row often, and he didn't. So they get the win there. They won 38-10. Aaron Rodgers for his I think he threw his first two interceptions. One was a pick six that kind of turned the tide of the game last week. So, but I picked Green Bay, and I took a loss there.
Yeah, I picked Green Bay too. I thought shouldn't have. And Rams.
So Rams, San Francisco. I didn't see this one either.
Yeah,
Rams were. I thought we were going to win this game. San Francisco, a lot of injuries. Garoppolo ends up playing, and I believe he threw at least two touchdowns, and they get the win. San Francisco does 24-16, and but I took the loss in our pool there.
Do you think the San Francisco is gonna turn around?
I picked them this week. It all depends on the play of Garoppolo and if they can overcome that injuries on the defensive line. They did last week. Rams is a pretty explosive offense, and they kept them to 16 points. So we'll see. Ask me in about maybe 2 more weeks. So
Okay, what about Kansas?
Kansas City, Buffalo. I picked Kansas City. Buffalo got their second loss, 2 in a row. They lost 26-17. Who'd you have in that one?
Kansas.
Kansas City. Yeah, me too.
Yeah. And Dallas Cowboys. Oh, that's a heartbreak.
Yeah, Arizona and the Cowboys. Zeke Elliott been struggling this year with fumbles. He had 2 fumbles last week. I think that brings his total to 5 this year. Arizona turned those 2 fumbles into 14 points, and that kind of turned the game. It was a close game at that point, but then Arizona gets a win, 38-10. So, but I picked Arizona. So
You picked Arizona. Yeah, I picked Dallas, and I thought they were gonna do well, but I guess not. I was wrong.
no, they kind of been struggling. Their offense now without Dak. I really didn't see how Dalton did last week, but I know Zeke struggled. if their offense can't produce, their defense is going to give up points, and they gave up 38 last week. So that division is
wide
open because I think Dallas is right now got 2 wins. Philly's got 1 win and a tie and 4 losses. Washington 1 win. So it's still up in the air.
So there will be a division where you lose less and still win.
Yeah, that could be a 500 playoff team or maybe even below 500, which is very rare. But my gut tells me my wife's Eagles is going to win that division. So
yeah, I think I am with that. Or the sleeping Giants can come back, but
yeah, I mean the Giants. I don't know. I mean, we'll see. They haven't really been playing too well. They barely got a win last week with Washington. So, but you never know. Still quite a bit of games left in this year. So,
well, those two teams, I think, sleeping Giants and those are they come back and over. It's been always traditionally very low scoring division. Always been like I think. That's but question is, even if they reach the playoffs and the postseason,
probably one and done.
So what good is gonna do?
Yeah, but I mean, it'd be nice. I mean, my Browns haven't seen the playoffs in 2002, so I would take a playoff showing even if we lose. But Derrick Henry, 212 yards rushing. I think he had a long screen pass for a touchdown as well, but he had 212 and 2 touchdowns. And then Justin Jefferson from Minnesota had 166 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Okay. And then, those are, I think, the game I really was impressed with is San Francisco.
Me too.
I think they really played well. So
yeah, I didn't see that one coming. So
yeah, I know. So let's see what we have for Week 7. Oh, look at that! Week 7 is in. We have Giants at Philly.
Giants at Philly. I mean, divisional game, and I think the winner tonight is going to put their foot forward in that division. And I'm picking Philly at home. I think Philly's going to get the win at home.
I think I agree. I will also take Philly, and I will stick with Philly too, because I think I have a feeling they will probably be the winner. And Pittsburgh at Tennessee.
Big game. I think this is going to be a playoff game down the road.
Yeah.
I'm picking Tennessee. They're at home. Derrick Henry in Tennessee. Not only Derrick Henry, but their entire offense has been playing well. Tannehill, I think he had over 300 some yards last week. So they're a complete team. Not that Pittsburgh's not. I just think Tennessee will be able to hold Pittsburgh's offense, and I think Tennessee will get a win, probably like 23-20, would be my guess.
Well, I think it'll be close. My feeling is Pittsburgh tends to be better on the road, and they can crush others very easily. They actually tend to play worse at home. I don't know. I have that feeling. So maybe I'm wrong. So I'm picking Pittsburgh. So what about Dallas at Washington?
This is a tough game for me. Washington almost got the win last week, and Dallas got beat pretty handily. But I'm going to give Dallas one more shot this week, and I'm going to go with Dallas.
I think I agree. I'll go with Dallas. And what about Buffalo at Jets?
I think Buffalo ends the 2 losing game streak, and they'll get a win with the Jets. Jets have been playing pretty bad this year, so I think the Jets will lose, and Buffalo's going to win that game.
Okay, Carolina at New Orleans.
Another game where Carolina kind of up and down, but it's hard to go against Drew Brees at home. I'm going to go with New Orleans.
And Packers at Houston.
So Green Bay struggled last week, and I don't see Aaron Rodgers losing 2 in a row. Houston has been playing better since Romeo has taken over as the coach, but I'm going to go with Green Bay.
Okay, well, Romeo is more defensive coach, and probably he, is going to probably come down to if they can contain Aaron Rodgers, and so you're going with Green Bay?
Yep, going to Green Bay. Even though Deshaun Watson has, been playing really well this year.
I'll take a chance on Houston.
All right.
Houston, you are not in trouble. We have a problem, Houston. So, okay, what about Cleveland at Cincinnati?
I think Cleveland will get the win. They got to run the ball. I mean, last week we struggled against Pittsburgh. I'm hoping they get their running game going in Cincinnati. And if they can do that, our defense is getting one of the safeties back. Harrison had a concussion, so I'm hoping Cleveland gets the win.
What about Detroit or Atlanta?
I'm going to go with Atlanta. They played really well last week, getting that win against Minnesota.
Yeah, I was surprised too.
I'm going to pick Atlanta.
And Seattle at Arizona. Wow, that's good.
Really good game there,
Yeah,
but I can't go against Russell Wilson. I'm going to go Seattle.
Jacksonville Chargers.
I'm going to go Chargers in this one. Jacksonville, I think they've only got one win this year, so I'll go with the Chargers.
San Francisco at New England. Now that's gonna be a good game.
This was like a coin flip for me.
Yeah.
And again, San Francisco shocked me last week. I was picking them kind of early this year, and then they kind of fell flat. But I'm going to go with them this week to get that win against New England, and that would mean Belichick would lose at least 2 in a row, maybe even 3.
Well, and San Francisco, their quarterback is going to be back in his hometown. I guess not hometown, but previous
Garoppolo,
team.
yeah.
Garoppolo, so he's very familiar with that field.
Yeah, I'm going with San Fran.
Yeah, same me too. I think I don't know. I have a feeling Bill will be sad this week. I don't know whether you can tell from his face, but
no, he's pretty stoic. But they looked not too good last week. They allowed Denver to sack Cam Newton, I think, at least 3 times, and I think San Francisco's going to put enough pressure, and they'll do enough on offense, I think, to get the win.
So I think with New England, I think the problem is players. I don't think it's one player. I think the whole team is not really performing.
Yeah. Yep.
Like, I think they really have to. We always thought that Bill can train anyone and get back to normal, but I guess no.
No, not yet. It's been struggling this year.
And what about Kansas at Denver?
I'm going with Kansas City. Denver, had a good performance against New England last week, but Kansas City's a different team. They, coming off the Super Bowl last year, I think the only loss they suffered was against the Raiders. I'm going to go with Kansas City.
And we have Tampa Bay at Vegas.
Yeah, Tampa Bay Raiders. This was a game that I was, the Raiders beat, 2 weeks ago, Kansas City, and I think they're on a bye week last week. So my gut was almost telling me to go with the Raiders. It's at Vegas, but we're talking about Tom Brady and Tampa Bay. And the way he performed last week, I end up going with Tampa Bay.
Okay, and Chicago at LA Rams.
This one is another one that I kind of could go either way on. I kind of end up going with Chicago because I think their defense is a little stronger. Nick Foles, I think, is finding his rhythm a little bit there under this new offense in Chicago. So I'm going to go with Chicago, and we'll see.
Okay, I'm going with Rams. So I hope I win. One of us will win.
Yeah, one. Want to be happy.
Yeah, but it'll be probably low game. I don't think it'll be very high scoring. I'm just putting 34, maybe 32, 28. Even that's a lot of score. But I think it'll be probably low scoring game. So bye week is for Minnesota, Miami, Indy, and Baltimore, so they can rest. So, and I think we got a few callers in line, so let's take a few calls and see what they have in mind about their teams. Here we have a caller, Jeremy on the line. Hi, we have caller Jeremy on the line. Jeremy, how are you doing, sir?
Hey, good, buddy. How you fellas doing?
Good. We are thinking about your team, so we are thinking that they're going to do better this week.
We can only hope so.
I can only hope.
So what are your thoughts briefly last week on the dismal performance Cleveland had, and then what do you think about this week?
Buddy, you hit it right on the head. Dismal. They didn't even show up.
Yep.
Looked like a high school team trying to play a professional team. And don't take nothing away from Pittsburgh. They are a good football team.
Yeah, well coached, and they got a good quarterback, good skilled players, and their defense is pretty incredible.
Their defense reminds me of the 78 Steel Curtain.
Oh, my God. Okay.
You're making Dr. Moby happy. He's black and gold.
Today I'm wearing black and gold to honor Steelers. So.
But
So
I
anyway-
don't know. I mean, I'm pretty happy that we got. I still think Cleveland's better than what they've showed. You know, with Baltimore and Pittsburgh, they played them early. I want to see them play again before I can make a judgment. But I just like seeing the AFC North back to where it used to be.
Yeah, I agree. But I think we still got a ways to go as Cleveland fans. But for
Just
some
a little
reason,
bit.
we were licking our wounds here against Pittsburgh and Baltimore. We've been struggling as last, I'd say, 4 or 5 years. It's been pretty dismal.
Yeah, I don't know. Last year we split with Baltimore. 1-1.
Tied with Pittsburgh, I think.
We tied Pittsburgh, and then Pittsburgh beat us. But we split with Baltimore, right?
Yeah, I believe last year we actually somehow won in Baltimore early in the year, and then
Yeah.
they beat us in
Right.
Cleveland.
I
So,
mean, beat them bad,
yep.
Yeah.
beyond expectations, and then got blown out back at home, and I don't know.
So what do you think this week? Bounce back, hopefully against Cincinnati?
I think we've got a good game coming back against Cincinnati. I know Cincinnati had a big letdown last week. They were up 21-0, and things were going great, and all of a sudden they end up getting beat by the Colts. So I'm sure they're hungry for a win, but the Browns have way too much for Cleveland. I mean, for Cincinnati. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah.
All right, well, thank you for the call.
Yeah. Thank you for the call, and you know, good luck on your team, and we'll catch you next week. Thank you.
All right, guys, take care.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us for Week 7 NFL Football Talk with Dr. Moby and Brian. It's been a pleasure. Again, we need your feedback. In closing, I'll leave it to Dr. Moby.
Oh, thank you. And so keep enjoying and keep making good dishes. Actually, we shared some dishes last week, so we're gonna try to again get some more videos if you have those and you want to share your precious moment while enjoying the football and what did you eat or cook there. And you can have all kind of wings, and we do, if you are in DMV area, we do accept food. You know, feel free
Absolutely.
to
Chicken wings.
Yeah, you can Uber us, so we'll give address. So our phone number is down here, and also contact. So give us feedback. Thank you for watching our show. It means a lot. Thank you.
Thank you and good luck.
Good luck.